legacy sheds, if you will, all over town. And look, up in the sky, washing windows. It's the debut of Osmo the window washing robot. The cleaning machine got its first workout today at a skyscraper on Avenue of the Americas. Traders hit the exits early today. Looks like down on Wall Street. Yeah, all the indexes taking a slide. We'll tell you how much of a slide coming up on Money Watch. And AccuWeather says breezy but hot and humid today. Possible storms this afternoon and a high of 93 degrees. Wednesday News Time 3:21. And from your Mercedes-Benz of Edison.com traffic center, here is Andre Farrow.
And back to everybody's favorite bridge. That would be the George Washington Bridge, of course. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Well, there's still that road work on the upper level, one lane knocked out, and that is still causing big delays at the George Washington Bridge, although that crash on the lower deck did clear. We're looking at 40 minutes at least. Eastbound 46, southbound Palisades, all slow as well. And on the New York side, you have big delays on that southbound Deegan coming down from Van Cortlandt Park. So go with the Henry Hudson Parkway if you can. You do have a big delay, obviously, on the westbound Cross Bronx from White Plains Road to the George, and the eastbound westbound Bruckner, terrible, approaching the Hunts Point Drawbridge. No relief in sight on the northbound Deegan from the RFK all the way up to Yankee Stadium. There's not even a game happening right now, and the delays are really bad. Northbound Harlem River Drive, the Macomb Dam Bridge area up to the George is even slower because you had that ramp problem where they had a disabled vehicle heading onto the George Washington Bridge. The Manhattan span of the Triborough heading towards the Harlem River Drive is slow. Southbound Harlem River Drive delays over by exit 17 are out there, and the Whitestone is busy heading into Queens. I would go with the Throgs Neck. I would say go with the southbound Clearview opposed to the southbound Cross Island, but guess what? They're both terrible right now, so pick your poison. Eastbound on the Grand Central Parkway approaching the long-term road work by Alley Pond Park. Not fun there as well. Eastbound on the Grand Central from the area of Jewel Avenue all the way to that area of Francis Lewis Boulevard is bumper to bumper. Same deal with the southbound Van Wyck heading down towards the Kew Gardens interchange from Jewel Avenue, and the East Belt Parkway is really bad approaching Springfield Boulevard. Westbound you're slow from Cross Bay Boulevard all the way to Flatbush Avenue. This report was sponsored by Mikhail Yagaroth and Associates, personal injury attorneys. Next report, 3:31. Andre Farrow, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
A Kings Island Gold Pass is your ticket to unlimited visits this year and all through 2025. Make the park your own with access to 2 years of tricks and treats, Halloween Haunt, and Winterfest. Plus an expanded Soak City featuring the all-new dual racing water coaster River Racers coming in 2025. All for our lowest price of the season. Just 10 payments of $9 after initial payment plus applicable taxes and fees. Hurry, price goes up September 3rd. Get your Gold Pass at visitkingsisland.com.
1-2.
Okay, so we're getting through it, but it's pretty hot and steamy, right? To say the least. AccuWeather says the good news, however, is that once we get through this blast of heat today, we could be in for some really nice fall-like temperatures in the days to come. Let's bring in AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson now to give us the particulars. Brian?
Yeah, Larry, temperatures up near 90 in many spots this afternoon. We have real feels in the mid to upper 90s thanks to the high humidity, but there is a cold front approaching that'll touch off some heavy thunderstorms in some areas into early tonight, and then much cooler highs in the 70s by tomorrow. Larry?
Thank you, Brian. And as we mentioned, 1010 Winds took to these streets to hear what you were feeling about it and the anticipation, depending on who you talk to, about getting a taste of fall up in here.
As I try to find some shade here outside of Central Park, I saw this Moroccan food truck, maybe get some early lunch. I caught up with Chef Samir. He said it is so hot inside, it's beyond unbearable.
Whatever you're going to have outside, you're going to add like another 20, 25 degrees.
Wait a minute. So if it's 90, it's going to be like 110?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So how do you get through the day with that? I mean, you just do it?
You just do it and, you say hydrated and, forget.
You obviously love what you do. Are there any time during the day where you say, God, I think I'm just going to go home? Do you say that or no?
Yes, definitely. Like when it's close to 3 p.m., it's...
You've had enough?
That's it, just thinking about the shower.
I definitely took my food to go. Glenn Schuck, 1010 Wins, 92.3 FM, here on Central Park South.
Some people say they're not ready for the heat to go away just yet. They like the warm temperatures, the beach and all of that. And others say, oh, please bring on the fall. So we'll get it here in the next few days. In North Babylon, a hit-and-run driver now arrested last night after a bystander stopped her from fleeing by throwing a brick at her car. Police say 54-year-old Ed Marone was sitting in his parked car when he saw a lady drive into a utility pole, causing it to snap and fall. So Marone gets out of his car to check on the woman, but cops say she backed her car up, ended up hitting him, then started driving off. But another guy watched the whole thing go down and picked up a brick and chunked it at the woman's car, shattering her windshield. She stopped long enough for the cops to come and put her under arrest. 18-year-old Marianne Merkishian is charged now with leaving the scene of an accident involving serious physical injury. Wins News Time 326. And now Bloomberg Money Watch on 1010 Wins. And here is Joan Doniger.
Well, now Ford has joined the list of companies cutting back diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Ford CEO says the company is aware employees and customers hold a wide range of beliefs, so among its moves, it will no longer engage with the human rights campaigns, corporate equality index, and other best places to work lists. Ford is opening its employees' resource groups to all workers. A conservative activist has claimed credit for prompting companies like Deere, Brown-Forman, Harley-Davidson, and Lowe's to make similar moves. Foot Locker will hoof it to Florida. The sports shoe provider retailer is planning to leave New York for St. Pete next year. It already has some executives there because St. Pete was home to the previous headquarters of Foot Locker's sister brand, Champs. The company says there are cost efficiencies with the move, but it will keep a presence in New York. The losses are still pretty steep, just not as deep as they were. Right now, the Dow is down 210, the NASDAQ 175, the S&P 33. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Joan Doniger for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
And now this message. Injured? The Harris Law Firm can help. Call 212-593-7600. Wins News Time.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to protect against wear and deposits. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select filter for just $32.99. In-store only. Limit supply. Learn more at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. Get 6 times longer lasting freshness plus odor protection with Downy Unstoppables in-wash scent beads.
Fantasy freaks and geeks, what's cracking? It's your boy James Coe back with my brand new project, the Sleeper King Football Podcast. Look, I get it, okay? There's a lot of fantasy pods out there, but we're going to keep this one light, 15 to 20 minutes, 4 to 5 times a week, and man, we are going to pack it with all the info you need. Season long, weekly projections, and of course, sleepers. Follow and listen to the Sleeper King Football Podcast on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
As fall approaches, you have a lot to prepare for. Back to school, sporting events, family gatherings, and staying on top of your health. The virus that causes COVID-19 continues to evolve. So this fall, no matter what you're prepping for, you can prioritize your family's health and make a game plan for COVID-19 vaccination. Ask your doctor or pharmacist to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Afternoon, we'll get times of sun and clouds, a bit breezy, hot and humid though. A heavy thunderstorm in some places this afternoon and early tonight. Those storms can produce gusty winds and hail. Cover the cars or do whatever. You get to a high of 93 degrees. Real feels approaching 100. We're not out of that quite yet. And then we'll get some clouds and a stray shower late tonight with a low of 69. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, breezy, and much cooler. Less humidity too, with a shower in the area, mainly to the south of here though, with a high of 76. Friday, clouds and some sun to start the Labor Day weekend with a high of 74. We're at 85 right now. Good afternoon. I'm Larry Mullins. Wins News Time at the Tone, 3:30.
Good afternoon. I'm Lori Metten. We're learning new details today about the investigation into the would-be assassin who targeted Donald Trump during a rally in Pennsylvania last month.
The FBI says it still cannot pinpoint a motive for shooter Thomas Crooks. Kevin Rojek is the special agent in charge of the Bureau's Pittsburgh field office.
We've seen no definitive ideology associated with our subject, either left-leaning or right-leaning.
Rojek says Crooks seems to have been hyper-focused on Trump's rally as a target of opportunity, adding it's been determined Crooks also searched for information on President Biden's events, as well as the dates of the Democratic and Republican conventions. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
The FBI says it has conducted nearly 1,000 interviews as part of its investigation. The shooter and one person attending the rally were killed. Wins News Time 3:31. Time for traffic and transit. Here's Andre Farrow.
And here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. At least 25 minutes on both sides of the Lincoln, 25 minutes out at the Holland. Inbound, not too bad, but you have a big delay at the inbound George Washington Bridge of 40 minutes. Eastbound 46 in the southbound Palisades, also very slow. They still have that road work on the upper level, one lane knocked out, and that's not helping matters. Westbound Cross Bronx delays are severe. They go all the way back to White Plains Road. Very big on the Deegan, the delays from the 3rd Avenue Bridge up to Yankee Stadium. Northbound and southbound coming down from Van Cortlandt Park, you're going to need a lot of extra time there. The northbound Harlem River Drive is super slow. You also had that problem on the ramp to bring you onto the George Washington Bridge. That's not helping matters. And the West Side Highway delays are really starting to kick in now as well. From about 96th Street up to the George Washington Bridge, you're going to need extra time there for sure. Traveling on the westbound side of 280 in West Orange, we're working on a crash there, which is causing big delays. Staten Island Expressway delays westbound over by Victory Boulevard, and big delays on the westbound Belt Parkway over by Cross Bay Boulevard. Looks like we have a disabled vehicle passing JFK and the Van Wyck. It's going to slow you down. Now, the westbound side of the Southern State Parkway, we had that earlier crash where a car hit a tree. That has cleared, but the residual delays really have gone away. So you're still dealing with big delays on the eastbound side and the westbound side. Eastbound passing Eagle Avenue and westbound, those delays go all the way back to almost the Wantagh Parkway. You're slow throughout Nassau County on the eastbound side of the LIE and Northern State Parkways trying to get to Glen Cove Road. This report was sponsored by Express Employment Professionals. If your supply chain demands a flexible workforce, hire with Express Employment Professionals. With contract and full-time workers from Express Employment, you get the staff you need and manage contingent labor costs. Learn more at expresspros.com. That's expresspros.com. Next report, 341. Andre Farrow, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast. Here's meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Well, Lori, the humidity's been much higher than what we've been seeing in recent days. It's also been hotter, too. Temperature's been up close to 90, if not a little above 90. And it's going to stay humid into the early part of tonight. Now, there will be a heavy thunderstorm in spots. Any storm could produce some strong gusty winds and hail as a cold front approaches from the north. And some clouds and a stray shower late tonight, low 69. Tomorrow, a breezy, much cooler and less humid day behind the front. There could be a shower in spots mainly south and west of the city. High temperature tomorrow, 76. And down to 63 tomorrow night under partly cloudy skies. Still could be a stray shower. Clouds and some sun on Friday, a high of 74, but the humidity will be back on the rise into Saturday. It's going to become rather cloudy with an afternoon thunderstorm in spots, high 79. A better chance for some showers and storms into Saturday night. Right now we have a partly sunny sky. It's 90 degrees in Midtown. The real feels 97, and we're heading down to a low of 69 tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Wins News Time 334. Recent and attempted terror attacks in Europe are on the radar of the NYPD.
Rebecca Weiner is the Deputy Commissioner of Intelligence and Counterterrorism for the NYPD. The report is an assessment distributed to private security and overseas law enforcement agencies. This one in light of recent attacks in Europe, in Germany, France, and the threat to the Taylor Swift concerts. The events indicate a troubling trend.
We've seen younger and younger individuals who are radicalizing and mobilizing toward violence by, I might add, and this is important, a wide range of ideologies.
She says there are always concerns with lone actors, but intelligence and advanced protections are put in place in the best way possible. Juliet Papa, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
A former Hudson Valley bank manager has been sentenced to 9.5 years in prison after admitting that she plotted to kill her brother-in-law. 40-year-old Rashima Massarone of Pine Bush in Orange County pleaded guilty to a murder-for-hire plot. The U.S. attorney in the Southern District says she thought she was paying $10,000 to hire a hitman, but that hitman was actually a member of a foreign police force. Wins News Time 335. You see them all over the city, scaffolding or sidewalk sheds that seem like they've been up forever. Buildings Commissioner Jimmy Otto says they're all coming down, or the ones that should be coming down will be, beginning with the longest known shed, which has been up for 15 years at the medical examiner's office in Manhattan.
We can't just talk the talk. The city has to walk the walk, and that means our own sheds that are up with no underlying work being done, that are up for years and years, they have to come down.
He says the city's Get Sheds Down program is doing just that. If you think one is still up and it shouldn't be in your neighborhood, you can call 311. If you live or work in a high-rise, the next window cleaner you see may be a robot. Osmo, the robotic window cleaner, is now at work in Midtown.
Rather than putting human beings in the scaffolding, we're actually placing robotic arms full with a suite of cameras and sensors, including optical cameras, LiDAR cameras, ultrasonic cameras, as well as distance sensors and ways to track essentially the information of the system.
Ross Blum, COO of Skyline Robotics, says Osmo is outfitted with AI and is currently doing the windows right near Times Square on a building on 6th Avenue and 44th Street. 89 degrees now. The real field temperature is 97. Winds News Time 3:36. Deadpool has holiday weekend plans.
A Kings Island Gold Pass is your ticket to unlimited visits this year and all through 2025. Make the park your own with access to 2 years of tricks and treats, Halloween Haunt, and Winterfest. Plus an expanded Soak City featuring the all-new dual racing water coaster River Racers coming in 2025. All for our lowest price of the season. Just 10 payments of $9 after initial payment plus applicable taxes and fees. Hurry, price goes up September 3rd. Get your Gold Pass at visitkingsisland.com.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Our lives aren't like they used to be. They're busier. Early morning Zooms, grabbing coffee to make that in-office meeting, getting to your kid's soccer game on time. Life is different, and so is advertising. To reach any audience, you need your message out there in all media, broadcast to streaming, on screens, and right to the ears of your customers. And that's what we do at Odyssey. Let's build a media campaign that targets the customers you know and want to reach more of, right here in our community. Advertise with Odyssey. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Now, 1010 Wins Entertainment. The holiday weekend belongs to Marvel.
People look up to us. Kids look up to us. I'm sorry, us? I wasn't aware that you were an Avenger. Avengers adjacent, technically. Oh, wow. What's your superpower? Is it parallel parking?
Deadpool and Wolverine is expected to top the box office in its 6th weekend of release. There are some new movies being rolled out, including Reagan and Afraid, but they're not projected to make much of a dent in things, although Ryan Reynolds' wife, Blake Lively, is expected to rake it in with her hit, It Ends With Us. Netflix is ready to take on the hard court. The NBA docuseries Starting 5 debuts October 9th, promising to give fans an unfiltered view of life at the pinnacle of professional basketball with LeBron James, Jason Tatum.
After you use Bounce Dryer sheets and realize how fresh, soft, less wrinkled, and less staticky your laundry can be, you'll put a sheet on it every time. Like those socks that smell like they've been through a marathon. Put a sheet on it. Or that blanket that's got wrinkles on its wrinkles. Put a sheet on it. Maybe even your chatty coworker who keeps distracting you. Okay, Bounce Dryer sheets can't do it all. But for fresher, softer, better laundry, put a sheet on it with Bounce.
Hey fantasy football fans, this is Zach from Upper Hand Fantasy. You don't want an embarrassing tattoo just because you lost a bet in your fantasy football league, right? If you do, I suggest a mermaid holding a football, but let's avoid that altogether. Faraz and I are here to get you ready for your fantasy football drafts with insights and advice. From sleepers to busts, we've got you covered to give you the upper hand on your friends. Start your fantasy football prep now. Join us and stay ahead of the competition. Follow and listen to Upper Hand Fantasy on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Well, all news, 92.3 FM, powered by 1010 Wins.
The Newswatch never stops. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon. 90 degrees at 3:40. I'm Lori Medden, and here's what's happening. A heat advisory is in effect, and we could be in for some strong thunderstorms a little later on. We'll get a live update in a moment from AccuWeather's Brian Thompson. A new report says hate crimes across New York are up 69% since 2019. Clementine the lobster won't have to worry about any nearby butter dishes. He's being returned to the sea in the Hamptons. Look what she made them do. The Cubs are crediting Taylor Swift for their winning streak. On Wall Street this hour, the Dow is down 213 points. The Nasdaq off 179. In sports tonight, Yankees at the Nationals. Mets are in Arizona. Wins News Time 3:41. Time for traffic and transit. From the Mercedes-Benz of Edison.com Traffic Center, here's Andre Farrow.
And here's what we see on Long Island's Big Three. We see big problems on the westbound Southern State Parkway. We have a disabled vehicle. It's right around Peninsula Boulevard, and that's causing big delays. And then the eastbound side, you have a disabled vehicle right around exit 26 by Belmore Road. So the Southern State is pretty busy, basically between Eagle Avenue and the Wantagh in both directions. More trouble on the eastbound LIE. Approaching 110, that is slow. We do have delays approaching Glen Cove Road on the eastbound side of the LIE and the Northern State Parkway. And keep in mind that long-term road work over by Alley Pond Park is really going to be a problem heading eastbound. We only have 2 lanes passing the Clearview. The thing is, the LIE isn't much better. It's worse. Basically, from Maurice Avenue all the way to the Clearview, it's bumper to bumper the entire stretch. Southbound Cross Island Parkway from Bell down to Northern, that ain't moving at all either. If you're traveling on the northbound side of the Whitestone Expressway from City Field up to the Whitestone Bridge, that is slow. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Inbound George is at least a 30-minute delay. You still have some road work out there on the upper level slowing you down. Southbound coming down from the Deegan and approaching the George is slow from Van Cortlandt Park. Very busy heading away from the Triborough on the Bruckner, heading towards the area of the Hunts Point Drawbridge. Westbound is slow in that vicinity as well. West Side Highway delays are kicking in right around 72nd Street up to the George, bumper to bumper there. 25 minutes on both sides of the Lincoln, 25 minutes out of the Holland. Inbound Holland is okay. There are some scattered delays on 139 eastbound through Jersey City. Next report at 3:51. Andre Farrow, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
It's not a heat wave, but it kind of feels like one today. It's a one-day only event, and we may have a few storms throw in. For the very latest, let's go to AccuWeather's Brian Thompson. Brian.
Yeah, Lori, temperatures have been up around 90 this afternoon. It's certainly been more humid than it's been on most recent days as well. Now, there is a cold front that's going to be pushing down from the north as we head into tonight, and that's going to touch off perhaps a shower, even a heavier thunderstorm in some spots. It's looking more and more like this will be as we get closer to sunset and into the evening hours. Can't rule out something popping up before then, but the radar's still pretty clear right now, and it looks like at least over the next few hours, a lot of the time is going to be rain-free. But any of the storms into this evening could produce some strong gusty winds and hail, and just a stray shower late tonight. And then once we get behind this front, high temperatures are back in the 70s for tomorrow and Friday. Lori?
Make sure you stay with 1010 Wins and 1010wins.com. We will keep you up to date, especially when these storms start rolling through. Wins News Time 3:43. A report by the New York State Comptroller says hate crimes across the state are up 69% since 2019. Thomas DiNapoli says there were 1,089 cases reported in 2023, marking the highest number reported by New York's Hate Crimes Act of 2000. DiNapoli says the number may actually be higher due to underreporting. He says in 2023 alone, the most common bias motivation was for religion, and that race, ethnicity, and national origin and sexual orientation were next. The New York City Sheriff showed off the wares of Operation Padlock today, a warehouse full of confiscated illegal weed.
There was no more room in city warehouses, so officials took a trip to Long Island.
Today we're here to announce the destruction of the weed that was confiscated during the Padlock to Protect program.
That's Sheriff Anthony Miranda standing alongside Mayor Adams and in front of 4 tons of cannabis removed after raids on 4,000 shops in the past 4 months. 1,000 shut down with follow-ups on the others. Instead of sitting in landfills, the pot came to Reworld Solutions, where it will be burned through a filtration system.
No one would be getting high off of what we're burning today.
Juliette Papa, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Stop and Shop says it will stop selling cigarettes and other tobacco products at all of its stores beginning August 31st. Stop and Shop has 360 locations in the Northeast, including the tri-state area. The chain says the decision reflects a commitment to community wellness. Wins News Time, 3:45. When school returns next week, some kids will have a lot to talk about when it comes to what did you do this summer?
We made such a big impact just for something like picking up a paintbrush. It makes every experience worth it.
And 17-year-old Jalissa said she'd do it all over again. The students of Global Kids, a community service-based organization, spent 2 weeks in Costa Rica giving back. And one of their favorite tasks was painting classrooms at a school with only 50 kids enrolled. Sean is 15 and has zero regrets.
You know, you don't get much opportunities like this. So if I had the chance to do it again in any other country, I would definitely love to do it again, just to make sure that they have the things that they need.
And Jalissa says she wants more kids her age to get involved.
Every student should take as many opportunities as possible and branch out.
Amanda Alexander, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
A Kings Island Gold Pass is your ticket to unlimited visits this year and all through 2025. Make the park your own with access to 2 years of tricks and treats, Halloween Haunt, and Winterfest, plus an expanded Soak City featuring the all-new dual racing water coaster River Racers coming in 2025. All for our lowest price of the season. Just 10 payments of $9 after initial payment plus applicable taxes and fees. Hurry, price goes up September 3rd. Get your Gold Pass at visitkingsisland.com.
O'Reilly. When your wiper blades do more smearing than clearing during a storm, it's time to replace them. For a limited time, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts for buy one, get one free on a pair of Bosch Pure Vision wiper blades. Offer valid in store only. Our professional parts people will even install them for free. Get a better view of the road at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Get your laugh on with me, Chris Jericho, and the Talk is Jericho podcast. We've got Guns N' Roses Hall of Famer Duff McKagan and his joke of the week every Friday, plus regular visits from the hilarious Brad Williams and special appearances by everyone from Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias, Mark Maron, Dennis Miller, Cheech Marin, Kevin Nealon. If they're funny, they're on Talk is Jericho. So listen to and follow Talk is Jericho now on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Can't believe tax season is here already. Look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust new Febreze car vent clips. Now with 3 times greater scent control, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with new Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing, which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs.
Picking up Oscar.
Wins News Time 3:48. Don't be so fast to put on that lobster bib. Clementine will live another day.
It's a 1 in 30 million shot that a lobster would turn out orange. Workers at the Southampton Stop and Shop named him Clementine and decided it needed to be rescued.
He was being kept in the same tank with all the other lobsters that were being sold for food. Except the only difference was they were feeding this guy shrimp to keep him alive.
Says Humane Long Island Executive Director Joe DiLeonardo. He partnered up with the store to get Clementine a more favorable living situation. Long Island Sound.
For this guy to come out as orange and then, be released to the wild, he's an extreme rarity.
He says all lobsters deserve better than to be kept in a pot or an aquarium. Mac Rosenberg, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
The elephants, hippos, and zebras of Namibia, not as lucky as Clementine, but this is actually a very serious situation. The drought-stricken African nation has authorized the culling of hundreds of animals to feed people. The UN says about half of Namibia's population is experiencing acute food insecurity and has experienced a 53% decline in cereal production, along with a 70% reduction in dam water levels amid this drought. The CEO of Telegram has been released from custody in Paris, but he is due back in court.
According to the Paris prosecutor's office, Telegram CEO Pavel Durov is facing 12 charges, including webmastering an online platform in order to enable an illegal transaction in an organized group, complicity in possessing pornographic images of minors, and complicity in acquiring, transporting, possessing, offering, or selling narcotic substances. Durov was first arrested at a Paris airport over the weekend. Ines Delaquatera, ABC News, Paris.
A new report in the Journal of the American Medical Association suggests a lot of women could benefit from additional breast cancer screenings.
NYU Langone Health medical oncologist Dr. Elizabeth Coleman has more on the findings.
It showed that the addition of breast MRI to traditional mammography may improve the detection of breast cancer, particularly in women with dense breasts.
Breast density is a term that radiologists use to describe when someone has more fibroglandular tissue in their breasts that shows up as white on a mammogram, the same color as cancer, which makes it more difficult to detect. More than half of all women over age 40 do have dense breasts. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
The Cubs say they're the lucky ones, thanks to a certain singer. We'll have more coming up after traffic and weather in just a moment. Wins News Time 3:51. Time now for traffic, including the Hatfield Transit Desk. Here's Andre Farrow.
And here's what we see on Long Island's Big Three. We have big trouble on the westbound Southern State Parkway right by Peninsula Boulevard. That's a crash knocking out a lane. Delays go all the way back to the Wantagh. And if you're traveling eastbound Southern State, we do have a crash, or I should say a disabled vehicle right by Belmore Avenue. So that's over by the area of Route 106. You're going to be very slow approaching that. Delays that go back to the Meadowbrook Parkway. Northbound on the Meadowbrook heading up towards Old Country Road, lots of volume there. Eastbound LIE, you're busy approaching Jericho and 106, 107. Then more delays over by 110 as you continue to travel in the eastbound direction. But we do have some slowdowns in Suffolk County as well. A disabled vehicle right around the area of the Sacticos and Motor Parkway as you continue to travel eastbound in Suffolk County. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. The inbound George Washington Bridge is a solid 25 minutes. Still working on that mid-span left lane being knocked out. That roadwork should be lifting soon. It's the westbound Cross Bronx bumper to bumper from White Plains Road. Heading away from the Triborough is ridiculously slow on the eastbound Bruckner heading towards the Hunts Point Drawbridge. The long-term roadwork westbound is not helping the ride there as well. If you're traveling on the West Side Highway from the 90s up to the George, that's stop and go most of the way, and it's mostly stop. So go with Riverside Drive or Broadway for a few exits. Keep the wheels moving. Lincoln Tunnel, 25 minutes on both sides. 25 minutes out at the Holland, but the local street traffic in Manhattan is really starting to build up. Broome, Watt, Barrack Canal, it's all slowing up, so pick your poison there. This report was sponsored by Sandstone Auto Mall, Route 1 in Woodbridge, New Jersey. Next report, 4:01. Andre Ferro, 1010 wins.
Now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast. Here's meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Lori, we've been enjoying a fair amount of sunshine this afternoon, but that's also been helping to keep things up. Temperatures up close to 90 in many spots, and the humidity is pretty high. And it's been keeping AccuWeather real field temperatures up into the mid to upper 90s this afternoon. But this is just a brief surge of heat and humidity. It is going to stay humid into early tonight, and there will be an increasing risk for a thunderstorm in some areas as we head into the early part of tonight. Some of those storms can be on the heavy side with some strong gusty winds and hail as a cold front approaches from the north. Then just a leftover shower late tonight, a low of 69. Mostly cloudy, breezy, much cooler and less humid for tomorrow behind the front. We'll have a shower in spots, especially south and west of the city. High temperature tomorrow, 76. Partly cloudy with a stray shower around tomorrow night, low 63. It's still kind of cool for late August on Friday. Clouds and some sun, high 74. And the humidity will be back on the rise into Saturday. As clouds increase, there could be an afternoon thunderstorm in spots. High Saturday, 79. Showers and storms will become more numerous into Saturday night. 90 degrees right now. It's partly sunny in Midtown. Real feels 97, and we're going down to a low of 69 later tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Wins News Time 3:54. It hasn't been a cruel summer for the Chicago Cubs. They're on a winning streak, and manager Craig Counsell knows why.
I was gifted a Taylor Swift candle. And we've been lighting that before games in my office, clubhouse manager Danny Miller, and we've gone on a nice little run here, so we're going to credit Taylor Swift.
Clearly it's working. The tape coming to us, by the way, from the Marquee Sports Network. The Cubs have won 7 of their last 10 games. As for Swift, she's currently getting some R&R before the final leg of her Eras Tour gets underway this fall.
A Kings Island Gold Pass is your ticket to unlimited visits this year and all through 2025. Make the park your own with access to 2 years of tricks and treats, Halloween Haunt, and Winterfest, plus an expanded Soak City featuring the all-new dual racing water coaster River Racers coming in 2025. All for our lowest price of the season. Just 10 payments of $9 after initial payment plus applicable taxes and fees. Price goes up September 3rd. Get your Gold Pass at visitkingsisland.com.
Now, Bloomberg Money Watch, here's Joan Doniger.
Wall Street has backed off the worst of its losses, but investors are still taking a pretty big step back. The Dow down 123, the Nasdaq 173, the S&P 26. More trouble ahead for Boeing, which is already under government scrutiny for its plane building practices, and also seeing Elon Musk's SpaceX have to rescue astronauts from the International Space Station because the Boeing Starliner capsule has too many problems. Well, now the company is facing a strike by its largest union. The International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers says both sides are really far apart on pay, job security, and other matters. The current deal runs out September 12th. AI is Wall Street's focus today, but for cars, the AI focus is self-driving, and car makers say that'll make driving safer. But an anthropologist at Santa Clara University says the expectations for self-driving cars are a lot higher than they are for people. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Joan Doniger for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
It's O-Rewards Member Appreciation Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Shop, earn points, and get rewards sent right to your phone or email. Right now, members receive 2, 3, up to 5 times O-Rewards points on select purchases. Receive 2 times points on select Power Torque hand tools. Get 3 times points with purchase of select 5 quarts of Mobil 1 motor oil. Earn up to 5 times points with purchase of select items, include Budge car covers. Earning bonus points can help you get to your next reward fast. Ask the professional parts people about joining O-Rewards. Start earning points when you shop in-store and online. Sign up and earn a $5 reward, 150 O-Rewards points to use on a future purchase. Don't miss O-Rewards Member Appreciation Month at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store and O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Get your laugh on with me, Chris Jericho, and the Talk is Jericho podcast. We've got Guns N' Roses Hall of Famer Duff McKagan and his joke of the week every Friday, plus regular visits from the hilarious Brad Williams and special appearances by everyone from Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias, Mark Maron, Dennis Miller, Cheech Marin, Kevin Nealon. If they're funny, they're on Talk is Jericho. So listen to and follow Talk is Jericho now on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Or oxcarcare.com.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. But right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-933-1022 to speak to an expert. That's 800-933-1022.
WINS FM in HD1 New York. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
1010 Wins AccuWeather says we have a heat advisory in effect through 8 p.m. for the city, northern Nassau County, the lower Hudson Valley, and much of North Jersey. Could see a heavy thunderstorm in spots late today, early this evening. Any storm can produce gusty winds, hail, maybe some downpours, with real feels this afternoon approaching 100 degrees. Right now, that real feel is 99. Tonight, some clouds and a stray shower late, low 69. Big change in conditions tomorrow. Cloudy, breezy, much cooler, less humid. May see a shower around high 76. Right now, it is 90 degrees with that real feel at 99. More people get their news from 1010 Wins than from any other radio station in the nation. Angela Laurie is our service aide. Sarah Milano's writing. Kyle McMorrow is at the editor's desk. I'm Lori Metten.
And I'm Bloomberg's Joan Doniger. There's the closing bell on a down day on Wall Street. The Dow fell 159, the NASDAQ 199.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM, New York.
90 degrees and partly sunny skies at 4 o'clock. I'm Larry Mullins. Good afternoon. Here's what's happening. Yeah, Lori said it best. A blast of heat today, followed by a nice little breeze tomorrow. And the next, and the next, and the next day. Yeah, there are rewards if we could just make it through this over-the-hump Wednesday heat. Stand by a moment. A bizarre murder-for-hire caper landing a woman in jail for allegedly trying to hire somebody to knock off her brother-in-law. Only thing, the somebody she tried to hire turned out to be an undercover cop. Police shut down an illegal weapons trade on Long Island, and they say the operator was less than a stone's throw away from the police department. We'll get that story out of Mineola. And then another bizarre caper where someone allegedly tried to kill a relative. Almost did. A guy put in jail after he confessed to poisoning his wife to get rid of her so he could marry her daughter. Yay. And how would you like to own LeBron James's high school jersey, the one featured on the